Hey friends, what's going on? TJ here from Judy and TJ's Midlife Adventures. You know, right now I'm standing in a parking lot at a tractor supply store, and over my shoulder here you're going to see a row of utility trailers. Not too uncommon, they sell a lot of them around here. What does this have to do with Midlife Adventures, you may be asking? Well, I'm going to show you. My good friend Natalie has built a custom one-off, beautiful teardrop trailer, and he started with one of these right here, brand new off the lot. And I'm going to show it to you right now. So through the magic of editing, we're going to run over to Andy's house and show you this beautiful custom-built teardrop trailer. And he started right here at Tractor Supply with a utility trailer. Check this out.
So essentially the reason behind building this trailer was my wife and I were camping out at Shades probably maybe March, and we were tent camping and hiking and stuff. We were pretty avid hikers and campers, and so we were just out there camping, and we looked across the way and there was a camper van over there, and we just thought, why don't we do that? You know, so it got down pretty cold that night, around 27 degrees, and got really cold. So we said, yeah, that's something we need to think about doing. So we just kind of brainstormed a little bit and said, why don't we just build ourselves a camper? You know, we live here in an HOA, so you can't really have campers and boats and things outside. So we needed to make something that we could park in the garage and also keep it out of the weather. And we didn't want to pay for storage either every month. You know, that's kind of a bit of an expense. So we both brainstormed and we came up with this idea. This started life as a Tractor Supply 4x8 trailer. That's the platform that we purchased it on. So we purchased the trailer one day, we came home, started cutting off the rails. We've also heavily modified the trailer to actually support most of the weight. A lot of teardrops you see actually have the fender, they're within the fenders. This one actually goes over the fenders. And the reason why we did that is because I'm 6'3", kind of a big guy. My wife is a lot smaller than I am as well, but we also have 2 dogs that will be going camping with us. Right, well, we started to do some research on teardrops, where they came from and when did they start, who builds them. We started looking at a few different kits that you could purchase and put together. And as we started reading some of the books, we just thought, well, you know what, we could build these. The biggest inspiration was probably Tony Latham's book it's a step-by-step process of how to build a teardrop. Now, obviously, we used a lot of his idea and inspiration, but we've also had our own twist to it. Obviously, making it longer, wider, a tongue box. Most teardrops you could build reasonably cheap, because they're within the walls. You could build them with a regular 4x8 sheet of plywood for the walls and the roof and the ceiling. But this is something we wanted to make last a really long time, actually becoming an heirloom, hopefully, for our kids. So we both kind of did some sketches on some paper, maybe even some napkins over, you know, a hike or what have you, and said, this is kind of what we want to do. And then we went sort of the route of this shape and size. So basically, we can show you, how about we start with the boring tongue box. So obviously when we built this thing, we had to extend out the trailer and add these supports here because the trailer only came with just a straight bar. So that's all reinforced. Also had to extend the floor out as well to help support the floor. So I had to pull the tongue. I tried to reuse every little piece that we got. All the angle iron that was taken off the trailer was incorporated into the trailer in some sort of form and capacity. Even the wood planks that were in the bottom of the trailer were used in this trailer. We wanted to have running water, so there's a 21-gallon water tank on there. Just like any other RV, you could either run water in the tank if you decide to go boondocking, or you could do a water hookup.
Very good.
And also there's enough space in there. As you can see, I got the old toolbox there. You can't go anywhere RVing, as you know, without tools.
Amen to
just
that.
in case. So that's kind of how that was put together. The top of this tongue box is pretty much where the brains are. So as I said, we're going to go with a solar charging system. So probably a Victron, keeper for the Victron Renogy. This is a Renogy 200 amp hour battery. A lot of people say I was crazy for putting that in there, but we ran this whole camper for 3 days with just the max air vent fan. Probably ran the coffee maker 3, 4, 5 times. Max air fan was on 24/7, getting circulation, lights on, lights off. Kids were around leaving things on for about 3 days with no solar until we actually had to put a charge. This is a Renogy 2000 inverter, so that should be God's plenty for this specific camper. And obviously all the little safety features that we have there with the fuses and such. I do need to add a 30 amp bus fuse breaker, so in case we go to campsites, a lot of the ones that aren't like state owned, what have you, might not be up to spec and up to par, so I don't want anything backfeeding into our camper and causing a fire. Again, everything on this camper my wife and I have done, but this is the interior. Let me go grab the lights. So on each side of the cabin we have the control panel here for the outboard lights. The inboard lights actually have a dimmer on it, so in case in the evening, what have you, you could turn them down or off. And let's say it's getting time for bed. I'm ready to sleep, she's not, or vice versa. You can come over here with the reading lights and turn those on. Those are also on a dimmer, so they could be turned on or off. You can have the little night light if you like, and if not, you can also shut those off there. There are USB ports on both sides, 2 ports, so in case you need to charge your phone, the iPad, what have you. And we also have 110 over here in case we need to air up the air mattress for now, so that works out perfect for that. I haven't weighed this thing yet, but I'm hoping by my calculations it should be close to 1,700 or 1,800 pounds.
Wow, that's nothing.
You got just the ledge up here. That's obviously just kind of throw the extra stuff, little fans, what have you. And the headboard, this goes all the way down. That's obviously our dog stuff, so it goes down probably all the way down to the floor, as you kind of see there. So there's 3 separate ones. Let's see, and then these cabinets up here, again with the teardrop, the biggest thing with teardrops are about space saving. So you can see here, we're not completely full with everything. We just have some baskets and so on and so forth. Because as an RVing, we like to be outside.
Right.
So having a big travel trailer, obviously when the weather's bad, so on and so forth, everybody kind of comes inside, watches TV, makes some popcorn, watch some cool racing sports or hockey. But we'll just we have a pop-up tent that we put out back and hang out underneath the kitchen. So storage is key here. So we have the games, and we might take the iPad and maybe watch a movie, come inside, turn the vent air fan on, and just to kind of enjoy inside. We have a max air fan, so it has 10 speeds. If you just kind of pull down the windows, everybody's like, how do you stay cool? Well, if you just kind of crack the windows, a lot of air is ventilated through here. It's ventilated through here, so it's so far it's been pretty comfortable. We haven't hit the... Now this one here, I wanted to make sure, because this is where the cooler is. Mm-hmm. So I want to make sure when this thing's fully stocked, when we're going down the road, we don't want it to come out. So we have 250 pound slides. So I know this is a little bit cumbersome, which I'll engineer something where it'll actually, you only have to do one click, but then we actually have our Yeti cooler inside there. And in the back, I also have it, it's pre-wired for a 12 volt cooler if we decide cooler slash what have you for later. Right. And then this thing puts out plenty of light in the evenings. So you could be back here cooking and everybody says, what do you do if it's so buggy? Well, we specifically bought this light so it keeps the bugs down. So we also on this with the trailer, we put the stabilizer jacks, which those are just kind of the pull out.
Right.
You know, you just pull them out. And of course, we're on an angle right now, but you know, they pull out and then they ratchet down. The thing's pretty solid. We welded on a Reese hitch back here for later. Obviously, we're not going to pull a boat or anything with that, but that's in case we decide to take some bicycles or what have you.
Cargo carrier or something like that.
They
Yeah,
could
that's
make,
a great idea.
maybe even make a couple bar stools off the back to make more seating for people.
Well, that's awesome. So just understanding that it's not fully completed. And this kind of strikes me as one of those projects that you'll always be finding something you want to do different with it. Having said all that, what's your best estimate on the amount of time you have?
3 months. I was off 3 months because I had broke my leg playing ice hockey, and so we actually started to build like about a month before that happened, and I was down until probably about December, right? And then we started getting back on this. So, what do you say?
I'd say 6 months.
Yeah.
Is a fair amount.
Yeah.
Like,
If 6 months and this is working.
Yeah, working
weekends
full
when you
time.
get everything else going on.
Well, as you said, my summers are pretty busy. I'm a mechanic for Dry and Reinbold Racing. I'm a mechanic on the rallycross side. So as of right now, I'm in charge of the 4 RX2 Lights Next cars, making sure that those are organized. I mean, we have a good team, good group of guys. We all work well together, so there's really no hierarchy of who's who or what. But
And in motorsports, that is probably the antithesis of we're done when all the work's done, not when the clock reads a particular time on the wall, especially
absolutely,
in the summer in the middle of the race season. So to get all this done and be able to build out something this nice and that's pretty impressive.
yeah. And again, we're also down for about a month and a half because we do run the IndyCar at May. So
That's right. Excellent. Well, Andy, thank you so much for sharing this with us. This is absolutely beautiful, and undoubtedly the comment section is going to get blown up with people wanting you to build them one. So just so in case anybody's interested, it's not me doing this. Don't send me anything because I can't help you out. You'll have to track Andy down on your own. I'll let you guys figure out how to do that. But thanks for sharing with us, buddy. I really appreciate it.
thank you.